Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Today is September 19th. The missus and I are headed up to the property to get ready for the opener of bow season here in Michigan, and that opens up in about 2 weeks. I'm about a week behind schedule, and normally when I come up and prepare for the bow season, but as normal, you know, I'm busier than a raccoon on garbage day, but I gotta get up here when I can. So today we need to replace a tree stand. My primary tree stand, it's starting to rust a little bit. I had a couple of rivets break last year, and I said it's time to replace this. So we're gonna do that today. Also, we're gonna be checking the trail cameras, seeing what kind of deer activity we have. I have about 3 more cameras I want to put out. We're gonna get that done today as well. And I want to go and pick up some corn and put it in the corn feeder so that the deer can kind of get used to the idea of there being food there. This is the last year that we can bait in the state of Michigan. They're going to put a ban on it for the next, I think they said 3 to 4 years, no baiting allowed. And right now we're even limited on what we can put out. We can put out 2.5 gallons per 10 feet of space, so it's we're limited now as well. But having the automatic feeder makes sure that I don't exceed that 2.5 gallons because the deer and the squirrels will eat it up based upon the cycle that I have it going off of. So I'm well within the restrictions that are applied here. But yeah, starting next year, January, as a matter of fact, there is no baiting allowed in the state of Michigan. So I will be starting to investigate in how to put in food plots and what to do. Earlier this summer, I had indicated I wanted to put in some food plots for that reason alone, but I've been busy and tied up on other things. But we'll have other videos on that for sure. So come along today and let's spend a day on the property. This is where we get our corn. Been coming here for over 20 years. Get it in 50 and 100-pound bags. Try and support the local farmer. I can't time as neatly and as quickly as he does, but does a pretty quick job. I don't know what kind of knot it is, but it works out well. So I've been coming here since early 90s. And he's moved his operation twice.
Do you want the name?
Huh?
The name?
Yeah, the name is Brown's Farm. And the farmer, his name is Lee. Pretty nice guy. once we get to turn the gas on. I'll only put on enough corn for each feeder. I won't fill this up all the way as the wood is starting to give away in a couple areas. So we'll just do it per feeder. I'm gonna take my camera bag. Got I said 3 cameras earlier. I got 4 to put out. So this is for one feeder. I have 250 pounds. It'll hold, I think, almost 300. It's a pretty big barrel. So I won't fill it all the way up to the max, but it'll last at least a month. By the 1st of November, I'll have to be doing this again. So, and all of this corn, let's see, I've got 450 pounds. You know, it cost me 40 bucks. So that's not too bad for corn, and then I'm able to run it through the spreader and then or the feeder, and it kind of disperses it so that they don't eat it all up at one time. So it'll last about a good month. All right, let me go ahead and go to the first stand and load that one up. Doing it for 20 years. Okay, this barrel is topped off. I thought it would hold 300, but it's only 250 like the other. So this setup was set up for bear, and so we've got it staked into the ground so that it can't move, and then we got a heavy lid on it, so it's hard to lift it off. Though there's no bears in this area that we know of, there are bears in a couple of counties over, and that's where the landowner here used to have property. So he built this to keep the bears out. But down in here, there's a major trail that comes through here, and they walk right by at the base of this stand. And the thing is we put this stand in first, and then the deer started coming in this way. So they know it's there, and they started coming this way after the stand was put up a couple of years ago. But but all the way back in through here, it's pretty thick. And I'll climb up the ladder stand here in a minute, and I'll show you what it looks like from there. We've got to cut open a few more shooting lanes, but out of all the places on the property, this one plus my primary stand, more deer have been taken out of there than anywhere else. So this is a good spot, good productive spot. Pretty thick, but little pockets of opening so you can get a shot. All right, let me get up in the tree stand and show you what that looks like. All right, this is sitting up in the tree stand itself. So there's the feeder. Nice opening there. I've got to get rid of some branches here, and then I've got to clear out a couple of branches back here, a shooting lane. Now this over here, I've had a tree fallen. I've got to get rid of this to clear up a shooting lane. I never could shoot behind because it was always too thick. But coming through there, I could hear them a lot. So it always gave me the opportunity to get ready because I could hear them coming through the thick stuff. And then up in this area, if they didn't come into this opening here, I couldn't get a shot, especially when they come past the tree stand. I'd almost have to wait until they walked out. Now this spot right here, they would always stand and kind of look in the opening before going in, and that's usually the spot that they're taking is quartering away right here. But this is stand number 1. Now I will hunt inside the gun blind if it gets cold. I'll put a portable heater in there just to kind of take the chill out. It doesn't keep it warm, I'll tell you that, but it does take the chill out. But this is primarily my daughter's stand. This is where she hunts. And if she's not up and it's doe season, I'll definitely sit in here for a hunt or two. All right, let's go to stand number 2. Okay, so we're now at the back of the property, and this is feeder number 2. Now this one here is closer to the state land, so we don't leave this out year round. We've never had any problems. We've never gotten anybody on our trail cam back here or messed with our feeder, but we don't want to tempt somebody either. So we always take it down at the end of the season. So I'll go ahead and carry this out there. I'll set this up, and then I'll put the remaining corn in here. It'll hold a little over 200 pounds, and then this stand will be set up. I've also got a camera to set up at this stand as well. We took our camera out of here. Again, we don't leave it too close to the state land to tempt anybody. But this is our back stand, feeder number 2. That's how quick and easy it is to set the feeder up. Now in this particular stand, over this way is state land. Straight back about 50 yards is the state land. And that goes deeper into the property. And then over here is the tree stand. Okay. So that's about 30 yards away. Camera doesn't give good depth perception here, but that's about 30 yards. And so the deer come through. Now there's a couple of trails that, I don't know if I'm picking up on it or not, but a couple of trails that come in that way. And then definitely straight through there is a major trail that they come on. And by having this tree stand tuck over there, they're kind of focused on this feeder right here, and that's what they focus on most of the time when they come in. But it's out in the open, and so they'll hug these edges coming in, and that's why I like that tree stand tucked back there in a ways that it's not right on top of the feeder, but it gives plenty of cover up in this area for the deer to get as close as they can but still have cover. All right, well, let me go and get the corn off the tractor and fill this up. There is a trail that runs right through here. Can't see it because of all the foliage, but that runs right through there. And then they usually come around and then come this way. I have not gotten, I've seen them come through, but nothing's been closer than on that main trail. And then I showed you the trail that comes in this way. Oops, sorry, my finger's in the way. This way right here. I've shown you the trail that comes in this way. And what's nice is that this is where my son took the first deer off the property. This is on his 20. And it came right out and stood right at the edge looking at the feeder. And like I said, that's a 30-yard shot. He was probably standing 25 yards. Perfect. So with that opening there, and then once the foliage drops, you can actually see the deer kind of moving through the woods. Now this is good on a north or even a north wind, an east wind, and a slight northwest wind would be good. But if we got a south wind, then it's blowing directly onto the barrel, and that's not good. So you can't hunt this with a south wind. But for an east or northeast, northwest, it's fine. All right. Well, here's my prime hunting spot. I've taken every one of my big bucks, my 10, my 3/8. I've taken them all out of here and out of that tree stand right there. And so that tree stand has been up there for, it's got to be at least 15 years. And it's starting to, like I said, rust out and give way. So my game plan today was to go ahead and replace that, but lighting's getting kind of dark now. I don't think I'm going to get to that today, but I just wanted to show you the tree stand here itself. A couple years ago I used to climb the branches to get up into this tree stand, and when I started hunting by myself, when my son went into service, I built this ladder. And this ladder is, it's my rope to pull things up, is made out of pressure 2x6. And then I cut notches out and then put a pressurized 2x4 in there. So if the nails ever failed, I still have strength here that's going to carry my weight, and that it's going to take a long time for this to rot. But I did that going all the way up. And then I just took some braces and screwed them into the tree this way, and then I put a 2x4 on top to secure to the ladder. This does a couple of things. I'm not, with the tree not being exactly straight, and it's got a curve in it, I'm able to secure the ladder to where it's straight when I go to climb it. And then two, when the tree grows, I can remove these screws and readjust the 2x4s that are screwed into it. But this has been up here, I want to say 7 or 8 years, and it's pretty solid. So recently, I just had a new service loop put on. That's this black strip going across the string here. So that's what wears out going across here, not the string, unless you let your service loop go too long. So recently, I just had this replaced. And so I got a light bit of oil on here. And what I want to do is I want to take a few shots at 20 yards to make sure that this thing is still zeroed in and that I don't need to make any changes to my scope. So just a couple of practice shots to make sure that I'm well within, what I call a Dixie cup. And if I'm there, then we're good to go. So let me take a couple of shots here. So I've got my tape measure out, and it's set at 20 yards. So this is the Horton Storm. I've had it for 3 years. I think this will be my this will be my 3rd or 4th season. Geez, I can't remember now. Time's flying by. I think it's my 4th season.
Go, boy.